What's going on, everybody? Check out this clip from the Pre-Patch podcast. I'm going to leave this. Well, I won't leave it up. We'll talk about some of the news. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about this before we head into the news that's going to be obviously covering Palworld. But
Nope.
if not,
I think we covered it.
then we will go over the news. So, obviously, like I said, we're going to
just so we're aware. So Palworld, you can get it on Xbox Game Pass, Xbox,
and
Steam. I think Steam's right now is for sale for like
26.
$26 something like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Which is a good buy.
I think it's a last day, though.
I think
it's a good buy.
Good buy, yeah.
Yeah, I really recommend it. For 20, it's 27 after tax, and then it goes to 30 as its regular price.
I think that ends today.
Yeah. So
it actually did end. Sorry,
it did.
Everyone. Yes, $30.
So here, the big controversy around Palworld, obviously, is like we've been saying, is Pokemon, right? Like immediately it was seen, and it's like, oh, well, they look they look very, very, very similar. You know, like size, ratio, whatever you want to say. Like it's Pokemon, right? It's a Pokemon game, and the fanboys went fucking crazy. Well, it did not help that there was a mod that came out that literally turned them into Pokemon. Like it was just, fuck it, we're gonna make it Pokemon. And obviously that lasted all of maybe a day, and then it came down. And it went away. Let me ask you guys this, because one of the other things that also happened too was is that Pokemon, or well, the Pokemon company did release a statement, because literally they have been getting nothing but just injunction after injunction after injunction, or not letter after letter after letter after letter after letter about taking legal action here. Where are you guys? Let me see if I can make this bigger. Where do you guys sit on this? Like, what are your guys' thoughts here?
I don't know, man. I don't personally feel like this. To me, was majority like we were talking in the podcast chat. I think this is just Nintendo coming out and making a statement to quell the fucking tide of screeching, reeing Pokemon fans that are like, how dare this other company try and take on Pokemon? You know, I don't really feel like there's a lot Pokemon can do. Like I don't really feel like they have a legal standing point to come after Palworld. Now granted, if they let that Pokemon mod stay up, and they like the Palworld people like endorsed it, that would be one thing, because that's them completely taking an intellectual property of Nintendo's, right? It is Nintendo that owns Pokemon. Yes, I believe it is, right? Yeah. So that's them taking an intellectual property that's owned by Nintendo, using it, using it in their own stuff. But granted, it's a mod, so that's not them. Yeah,
right. It's not them, but like you were saying, if they were to endorse it or promote it, then at that point, yes.
Even then, with that, here's the thing about it, right? Like technically, as long as they are not profiting from it, like not Palworld, right? But the mod team, right? As long as they're not technically
I agree.
Even if they went to court, they could easily be like, Pokemon, fuck off, like fuck off. You don't have a right here. Like
well, it's one of those things where like you've got mods for like Minecraft that bring in Pokemon and everything like that. They don't shut those down.
Right.
Like
they're back up now.
I mean,
they've been shut down a few times though. There has been legal action between those as well.
There's ways that you can get a hold of them. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to state.
Yeah. No, I understand. But
I mean, if it's not behind a paywall, which some of the chat is saying it was behind a paywall, I don't know. I didn't look into the mod, but if the mod had a paywall, then yes, it need to be taken down. Like, that's not.
I don't think it was. Okay, you could get it. You could literally get it on Nexus, and then Nexus dropped it because they were afraid of getting.
And Nexus didn't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Nexus is really bad with that kind of stuff. Like they will, if they feel like there is any kind of legal repercussions that they can get, they drop it like that, man.
Yeah, they don't play games like that.
I also don't think there's anything that the Pokemon company can do, considering Xbox was confident enough in the product to put it on Game Pass, and Xbox isn't going to take a risk on losing money.
No, also, this game. Like,
well, we've got conversations going on like in the chat right now about like similarities between Pokemon and similarities between Digimon, similarities between Temtem and Pokemon, similarities between Palworld,
and then you go as far back as to the similarities between Dragon Quest and Pokemon.
Bro, Pokemon straight ripped that shit from Dragon Quest.
But you just got to look at it as this. You're looking. you gotta look at it as this. Like, you're looking at a pre-established IP. Pokemon has been an IP that has been established for how long now? Like years, like 20, 15 years, somewhere around there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were established when I was like 12, so that was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have similarities no matter what. Like, there's gonna be similarities. Digimon got flack for this when Digimon came out with Pokemon. They were they had several Digimon that were extremely close to Pokemon. Temtem came out like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They got shit for it. It's just a Pokemon thing, man. Like,
Yeah,
if Pokemon, if there's a game that
they
comes
didn't
out
get as
with
much shit as this, though.
they didn't get as much shit. That is true.
I feel like they're only getting shit because of how loyal,
successful it is,
to
as well as
Pokemon.
loyalty, yeah.
It's the most successful IP on the planet besides Hello Kitty, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like the comparisons between this and Pokemon would be like saying Call of Duty should sue Rainbow Six because they have gunplay similar
like
in the game.
Yeah,
or Battlefield. Like, it's okay for another game to enter the same genre.
I'll tell you what,
people need to get used to this. Your plastic box gods in Pokemon don't care whether you're screeching or not.
I think it's not only okay, but it's like we've talked about, like,
because Pokemon
that's what I was about to say. We've talked about like breeding competition between like Twitch and Kick, and we've talked about that with like the competition between like Microsoft and PlayStation, right? If companies don't try and one up each other on certain points. Now, granted, you can argue that, like, obviously you don't want to have like a complete like theft of an intellectual property, right? But one way or another, there needs to be something that comes out that spurs Pokemon to reach for that next level of
I honestly, I hope it does too, because I've seen comparisons, and I don't know quite which game it was of Pokemon. It was whichever was the open world one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because like the open world one,
or whatever. Oh my gosh! I mean, the comparisons I've seen between them is just like that game. I forgot how bad it looked. Yeah, and you can't deny that game looked like hot doo doo.
So did Sword and Shield. So did Scarlet and Violet.
And those are AAA multi-million-dollar company that is producing those games. You know, like
Pokemon has not moved from their standard operating procedures.
Their standard is so low.
That's it. That is the nutshell. That is the golden ticket as to what is spurring this on, right? It's the fact that, and I love the memes that are out there, right? As a Marvel fan, but also just in general, like it's true. Like, this company built this, with a small team, and it hit everything that Pokemon. Well, I don't want to say Pokemon players, but it hit what people have been wanting, like what people want to play. So
it hit a popular niche,
right? Yeah. It's and I'm not.
And it just happened that it was able to cater to the Pokemon players as well. So,
and I'm not saying either that like Pokemon players have been wanting this. Pokemon players definitely, I think, want a more interactive experience with other players. I think that they do want something outside of just the normal genre of Pokemon. But I mean, because look at Pokemon Go. Like, Pokemon Go, wildly successful, right? It does not do the Pokemon thing. Like, what it does in Pokemon is you capture your Pokemon, like, and yeah, you battle them and whatever else. But like, it's a whole new element. So, to the fanboys and fan people that are pissing all over Palworld, how about you get down from your fucking shiny Pokeballs and get out of your Nintendo Switch and go and fucking take a moment to like actually try the fucking game. Pay $1 to get on Game Pass, even though it's the lower version, and try it and see and just accept that it is okay for IPs to be out there that are like this. It's and once you play it, I think you'll honest to God realize like it is actually more closely related to Factorio and Arc than it is to Pokemon. Other than the fact that you're catching fucking Pokemon or Pokeball.
I will say is some of the designs of the pals, there's some of them are blatant. Yeah.
Blatantly very similar. Blatant.
But that's maybe like a small percentage out of how many pals they have. I've seen some of them like, hey, that looks, like that Pokemon so and so, and to that point, what are you gonna do when you have a design that's based off of a fox? There's only so much you can do. You're gonna give it a fire skin and it's gonna look like that Pokemon, or you're gonna give it a leaf skin and it's gonna look like that other Pokemon. There's countless numbers of Pokemon. You're going to run into some collision there,
Well, I mean,
but I'm not going to deny there was not obvious
the artist,
inspiration
the
taken.
main artist, the designer of it said, yes, I went to Pokemon and went and looked at these, and that was my base. And then I went there and started fiddling around.
It's not a crazy thought, because tons of other games do it nowadays too. Like every game does it. Yeah, you'll see comparisons in every game that comes out now.
So it's I don't know, man. It's crazy. I think everyone needs to calm the fuck down with this stuff, and it's just this is asinine, right? And the last thing I'll say about the whole like lawsuit thing is, guys, if you think at all that Pokemon or the Pokemon company is going to come after PAL, right? They're not. This game has been promoted and been out there. It's not like they all of a sudden
and it's backed by Microsoft, like you said too.
Yeah, but even before being backed by Microsoft, when they showcased this thing out, right? They showed all like a lot of these PALs that were extremely similar, right? And whatever else, and Nintendo didn't do anything. Pokemon didn't do anything. If anything, what's going to happen is the Pokemon company is going to go to Nintendo and say, hey, are you cool if we go to a third party to develop something within the Pokemon franchise and maybe put it out somewhere else? Like maybe this is an eye opener. Nintendo be like, hey, maybe we go grab PC audience because we could put it on PC and grab a huge audience. Maybe not.
If they want to compete on other platforms, this could be that wake up call.
So hopefully this is the space race of these subs, because it really is it's a great game. I will say one company that can rightfully fuck off is this PETA. Like the fact that this is even a fucking thing.
Organization, not a company. It's
whatever. Organization, company, people. This is ridiculous. Like them being
kind of funny
opposed.
The only reason why I added this in today is because like it seems like every fucking time we have like a
Monster Hunter did it.
Like a Monster Hunter did it, or a game that has any kind of like you're killing innocent monsters, right? PETA has to come out and be like, we don't condone that. PETA, it's fucking virtual.
I mean, they're not the butchering real. Animation is fucking crazy.
Is pretty nuts.
It is. Yeah. No, 100%. But it's a game.
But it is.
It's virtual. It's not real.
It makes me giggle.
Like it's I don't know. It blows me away that this is a thing. And, but it exists, and there are people that are out there.
Did you see what they said down lower? That they're looking to make a guide for somebody, or for the players that want to be vegan. They're looking to make a guide for players that want to play this game here as vegans.
Oh my god. PETA has already heard from many Palworld fans who have no interest in eating pals and want a vegan guide created for the game. It's veganary after all. And gamer, look, we're not knocking being vegan. We're not knocking, you.
No, I mean, you were doing being a supporter of PETA for a while. In a way. Yeah,
I am knocking stupidity, and this is the pinnacle of stupidity. Yeah. Like, it is ridiculous. So also, just to make sure we get this straight, PETA is not okay with you butchering and cooking the pals, but they are okay with you making them do indentured labor. Like, it is okay to put your little cat guy to work to create a Mac 10 that you're then going to strap to your fire pal that's going to go out and shoot the shit out of everybody so that you can capture more of them and bring them back to your sweatshop. We're good with that. Just don't butcher them and eat them. That's where we draw the line. I mean,
it's truly with the how many times this has happened in the past few years where it came down to like Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, a couple other video games. I truly do think it's just PETA trying to get their name out there. They're just like, let's make the most absurd bullshit that we can come up with. Let's make the most absurd statement that we can possibly come up with about a video game, and people will see our name.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. Again, I mean, the butchering is it's not just animals. You know, PETA. Hey, if it makes you happy,
I
you
mean,
can butcher people.
Yeah, you can butcher NPCs too.
You can butcher
but
people.
again, like it's make believe. It's ones and zeros. It's code. It's not real.
Hey man, it's 2024. You can't say it's make believe. It's real to somebody.
It's code. That's all it is. You're butchering ones and zeros in a computer program.
Don't worry.
Congratulations.
We'll have people. What does PETA stand for? It's
I don't even fucking know.
people for the ethical treatment of animals. We're gonna get PDA, people for the ethical treatment of artificial intelligence. That's next. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I'm sure it'll be here.
Great.
Got to protect our ones and zeros.
Ones
well,
and
if you
zeros, baby.
are a fan or lover of PAL, we do have the update. Well, the roadmap, early access roadmap, that Pocket Pair, which by the way, I love that name. Like Pocket Pair, just a phenomenal name. PP, fellow PPs. Just saying, PPs got to stick together.
PPs. It's true.
But the roadmap that they came out with,
It's a nice little roadmap for their early access.
I love
they got
this
going
image.
on.
I love this image of the fucking, because if you're unfamiliar,
the lamb balls with the
lamb
saws.
ball, the lamb
Hilarious.
ball pals are some of the like most. They're like your begin, like you kick them. You're just like, get the fuck out of my way.
They're the cute little guys.
Yeah.
You know, when you take them down, they'll roll down a hill.
And
it's hilarious.
And then the fact that they're behind sandbags with fucking just saws, just ready to fucking fuck
dude.
something up.
Not just that, but the utter look of complete sadness
anger.
on the sweatshop.
Oh yeah, these guys up here.
Medical issue.
Whoever the owner of these pals, they need to do a little bit better. They're not happy.
It's probably me.
My pals are happy.
All of Scruffy's base is depressed.
Yeah,
is like continuously depressed.
Sorry, we keep going on, but have you guys seen the Depressos mining?
No.
Slow, just like utterly depressing speed.
Oh my god,
going at it. The game sets up for some hilarious moments. It really does.
Yeah, so
they do have some really good stuff coming for the roadmap. I'm really impressed with it.
if we want to get into the roadmap here, they do have some good stuff. They have bug fixes, which they're going to be addressing. They only addressed a few of them at the moment, but some big ones, you know, that have actual like game affecting breaks to them. They're going to be implementing PvP at some point, which I know Sinan is excited about. Raid bosses, which everyone should be excited about. I think that'll be a lot of fun with, especially in big servers. That'll be a blast. Arena, which is going to be the PvP. I think I don't know, maybe they'll be both open world PvP and as well as arena battles, which will be pretty neat. They're going to be implementing the crossplay as well as other Xbox feature improvements. Xbox, I've seen they've been struggling a little bit.
Other feature improvements, aka we're going to bring Xbox up to Steam.
Hopefully so, man. But they've been struggling with the map generation and loading. Some people are saying some of the map isn't even loading at all, so it just completely locks out an entire segment of the map. So hopefully they get on that and fix that. The server transfers and migrations is a pretty good one. I think that'll be definitely really useful.
I want larger server sizes.
This is more than 32.
I mean, as the world gets bigger, right now, no, because the world's not big enough to host it. But as the world's
pretty
bigger,
massive, and they can't handle more right now. Eventually, hopefully, so. But I'm sure in the future there'll be 64 and maybe more. Who knows? This is the big one. Improvements to the building system. That please, we need it. They need it. And then more content in new islands, pals, bosses, technologies, which is just crucial as well to keep the game alive and going. So
you know what's cool?
Like Sin's like no building systems fight. He has a box for it.
I was gonna say, what do you have?
You know what? Fuck you, man. I like my box. I like my 2-story box. I spend a lot of time putting things together, clearing out
with
the
a
land.
hole in one side of it so he can keep track of his pals.
I have a mansion that's like hanging off the side of a cliff. And
your thing is like all like
falling down.
Yeah, dude, you're fucking this demonic fuck. I don't know. See if I can find it. Hold on. You got like this like castle like thing going on that's just like I don't know. It's fucking wild to me. But anyway,
it's I love building in games, so I just would want better building. That's my one request right there, and better PAL assignments, but that's it.
I do hope
Keep it
that they continue with content at a pretty quick pace. You know, I think the thing about this is that it's already an absurd game. They really could do whatever they fucking want. Like they could just be like, fuck it, we're gonna start adding spaceships and shit, and your pals are now gonna go to the moon and bring back Martians.
I don't know if it was a mod or not, but it was like a mech pal that was flying super fast. Might have been a mod, but it's still like that could be easily passable in the game.
Yeah, just
like,
put whatever you want, man.
Yeah,
I want a talking. Let me get like a talking pistol. Like let me have that. So you know whatever else. You know it's great. The game, keep adding whatever you want. I think that's the biggest thing is just kind of keep that content up. And it will
they need to. I will say they
So,
can't let it teeter.
Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the patch notes. And if you want to join us live, we stream every single Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube as well as on Twitch. Also, if you miss the show, you can always catch us at anchor.fm/prepatch podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the show.